Moving on to the next topic, right? Currently, now we are going to discuss about a topic called instance, which is nothing but EC2. Here, if you click on services, you will see something called virtual servers in the cloud. So that means virtually you can access all the servers from the cloud, and that service name is called EC2, which means Elastic Compute Cloud. The full form is Elastic Compute Cloud. So what is an instance? So if you want to understand, right, instance is nothing but a you can call it as a virtual server or server, which you can use it directly without having any physical server. You don't need any physical server or anything. Virtually you can use this server, which is, you may call it as an instance in the point of view of AWS. And it offers all the computing things, that includes it has the own storage, it has the own memory, you can configure it, you can have the RAM and everything. Okay. And here if you see, you may have a number of things here, like instances, which is nothing but the virtual servers which we currently discussed. Auto scaling groups is like, once you configure the auto scaling, that means scaling up or scaling down, which we discussed yesterday. Whenever some traffic is coming up, if you configure this auto scaling group, then the instances will increase and the instances will go down when the traffic is not there. Dedicated host is, we will discuss it in the uh, instance types. And elastic IP is, there is one thing you should understand upon. Okay, one is called public IP and the other term is called private IP. Sashi, remember all these concepts. Okay, everything is too important actually for you to, whenever you are gonna work on it. Okay, because you
Okay.
need to understand what is public IP, what is private IP, so that you need to properly read it out actually. Like, let us say you are working on something, let us say you are troubleshooting something. So at that particular point of time, right, you need to at least know what it is about. I don't think no one will ask you like in a anywhere like, hey, tell me what is this or what is that. Okay, but you need to understand like the basics, like what is this private IP or what is a public IP, what is this instance means. If anyone is telling you like go into a server, at least you need to know like, yeah, instance and server are both are same. It's just he's talking about the AWS point of view. So it's just all the basic terms, but you need to understand or know the classical difference actually. Like, everyone has their own so when it comes to public IP, right, when you have an instance, you will see something public IP and private IP. Okay, public IP is nothing but it can be seen by other devices on the internet. That means, uh, with a public IP, let us say you have a Google. Okay, so in the google.com, there is a public IP behind this particular domain name. So you actually won't type HTTPS or something public IP and then you won't access it actually. Okay, but you use the domain name called Google and then from there you are gonna access it. Similarly, for every instance there is a public IP and you can access that instance or anything through that public IP. So it is accessible by everyone over the internet. So public IP is nothing but that can be seen by the devices on the internet, or that can be actually accessed by the people, and it can use it to communicate and interact over the internet online. Okay, but private IP, it is only for your local network. If you work on an organization, right, you have your own company organization, they will use their VPNs. Okay, or they will use their Zscalers again for the private networks, or they will use some Azure virtual desktops, or actually AWS workstation, I think it's called actually, Amazon workstation or something, or AWS workspace, I think the name is called. So all these they use it for their private networks in their organization, because they want to virtually protect, or they want to provide the security for their applications and systems. So any critical applications, right, you won't be able to access directly over the internet. You will be only able to access if you are in that particular network. Have you ever faced a situation, or have you ever seen such case actually, Sashi? Like, you are not able to access the resources directly over the internet, but you need to either connect through the VPN or some particular private network in order to access it,
Right. I heard that some of my friends use VPN to connect to their servers, to their
right?
office.
You will use VPN, right?
Right.
Then that's fine. Then I don't need to explain everything about this public IP and private IP. So I think you have that basic idea on that. So similarly, right, currently we are discussing about this elastic IP. So elastic IP, right? what is elastic IP? Let us say public IP. When you launch an instance, right, a public IP was already automatically assigned by the particular AWS instance. But whereas the elastic IP, let us say you terminated the instance, or the instance is automatically deleted, or it happened something. Okay, so at that particular point of time, you will even lose that IP address. But if the IP address is configured in some server or some application, that means you are getting a new IP address, and the linked IP address and the new IP address is doesn't match, and the application will face reliability issues. So in that case, they will take a elastic IP. That means you are taking a static IP. That means the IP will be fixed, and you won't be able to change it out. And I mean, even the a new instance comes up in that place, the IP will be the same, and the configured IP number will be the same, and your application will be still up. Okay, so this is one of the most advantage of the elastic IP. Key pairs, right? Coming to key pairs.
So elastic IP is
Hmm.
nothing but a static IP.
Yeah, that's it.
Then why can't they keep it as
That means you
static
will have a
IP?
fixed IP. Even if the IP goes down, you won't be able to. Um, Let us say you have an application pointed out to some IP address here. Okay, so if you have an instance, and if you have this public IP address, the IP, whenever something happens to the instance and the IP address goes down, then a new IP address comes in, but the application already has a separate IP address, so it won't match. Again, you need to configure everything from the start. In order to avoid this, elastic IP will charge you. It will give you a separate IP. You can own that IP, and you can configure from it. Okay, even
Okay,
if
got it.
something happens, and you can still have that own IP address, and the AWS doesn't take it away.